destruction here. And totally not some generic person that screams my name here. Let's be honest, it is just some generic person screaming my name here. And so we're going to be farming the Dust Rock Blues, which is what everybody has in PvP, and it pisses me off. So we're going to do the Maverick Square Lost Sector with the Bad Juju equipped, because why not? Bad Juju is a really good assault rifle. Not assault rifle. It's really good if you have it if you have it, and if you get the masterwork in it, it's really good too. I mean, you don't have to have the masterwork, but I still recommend you get the masterwork anyways. Again, the masterwork is kind of stupid and kind of hard to get, but never mind. Not this one. Not this thing. Sorry you had to hear that. We're not doing that. We're doing the Winding Cove. In 1 second. So firstly, this is the Sheriff Towers that tortures me. I'm gonna be doing this quest line, which is the Lie quest line. Because everybody, the community's doing it, so. I've decided not to do that yet. That's gonna be for a video in like a couple hours, or I might even actually do it after I'm done trying to get the Dust Rock Blues. Not with a god roll. It just must have Accurize round and full choke. If it doesn't have Rampage on it, I'm fine with that. I just need Accurize round, you know, full choke, full choke. And if that ain't a thing, I don't know what is the thing.
Not enough clearance.
Shut up, Anna. Here's the Flooded Chasm, which is a lost sector that is not actually very far away from the Sheriff Tower location. It's just ride your Sparrow into a big hole that's that's under the bridge, and then that's the boss right over there. You could just disintegrate them with the if you have all the right equipment, which is just an arc submachine gun or really anything arc. And if you have a super up, you can just go over there and fucking just smash them with a super. Smash them some boss. And this guy's a nightmare to beat if you don't know what to do. Right now, I'm just trying to get the Dust Rock Blues, and this is already giving me the blues. The blues to kill people. This thing's actually not that bad. This is actually something that you get during Curse of Osiris, not Course of Osiris. It's Curse. I mean, Curse of Osiris is an okay experience. I mean, I played it a very little bit. Took a break after that. Didn't do too much Warmind stuff. Bad Juju is a pulse rifle that you get from the tribute hall or whatever you want to pronounce it. I mean, if you do it right. I mean, if you're ever gonna do the tribute halls and stuff, you better make sure you have at least 20 of these guys. 20 out of the 50 things. 20 out of the 50 that you need. Because you need to get, I believe, at least 20. And you can buy like 5, so you can get like 5 each. They're not very cheap though, so I would recommend it to the people that just started playing Destiny 2. I recommend to the people that have all the glimmer and all the destination resources that you can get. And that's how you'll be able to do stuff like that. Did I seriously not kill the boss? No Dust Rock Blues and no actual depression. So this lost sector sucks for farming. Good to know. There's like a lost sector called the I don't know what that's called. But there's one that you have to get like a fire gun for. Not fire gun. Oh, not fire. Don't say gun. The Outbreak Perfected, another weapon I don't recommend for newer players unless you have friends that can. On enemies. And you get the masterwork for this thing, which is, oh boy, more effective. And if you didn't think that was more effective enough, you haven't seen the last of this thing. So the bad juju, that's a good weapon. The first weapon I recommend people get, and if they don't do PvP in any other game, is the breakneck. Now I know it's not exotic, and I get people are going to be complaining in the comments saying, why not any other weapon? For one, the breakneck already comes masterwork with whatever masterwork I believe. I just got range on it. For two, it has the perks that are polygonic barrel, which is increased stability, which you want on an assault rifle because stability is what recoil is in this game. Extended mag. That's actually really good. It might not seem good, but it is good. This thing's also good in Crucible, so. Rampage is, well, Rampage. You fucking kill enemies, you do more damage. But here's the catch. With this perk of Onslaught, Rampage also increases your rate of fire, making damage as fire. Yeah, I'm sorry that took a long time. Now, if you're ever gonna do Crucible, and you think you're gonna be like the world's best person, good luck, cause Crucible with sniper rifles is not good. Not a good mix, especially if you're a fucking Warlock main. Someone's a Warlock main, and I know them very well. In fact, he's actually sitting on the computer playing World of Warcraft. I don't know what he's doing. And Warlock mains have this ability called Healing Rift. Now you're gonna be asking yourself, what's so special about Healing Rift? If you've never played this game, let me explain.
I think the name suggests what a Healing Rift does.
And if you don't know what it is, I feel sorry for the people that go in the Crucible and say they're cheating. Because Warlocks don't cheat. They're just useless pieces of shit. Say, I'm sorry for that one. Let me tell you, that one was a little fishy of mine. Trust me, I can get a little over the edge.
Support tower is overwhelmed.
It's okay.
Cutting the arc energy supply.
So if you've never done Seraph Towers,
Heavy frames ready to go.
oh shit. Anyways, so Seraph Towers are
What's that in you want?
a root beer.
A&W?
Cutting arc energy
Yeah,
supply
A&W.
until that support tower is cleared.
Yeah.
Support tower overwhelmed.
A&W for Jason, Mountain Dew for me. That is the answer. Get our bank now. Let's see 4 cotton candy.
Can I get a Red Bull?
Well, I'll give her some money when she gets here. You go ahead.
Sorry.
Oh, whatever. Let me talk to her. Hello? Yeah, you said you're gonna go down the border. Yeah, so two Red Bulls like that.
No, not too much.
Alright. Yeah, two Red Bulls each other. A Mountain Dew and an A&W? Yeah, let's yeah. You're still on the blue, yeah. Yeah. Alright. Thank you.
Support tower has a serious crowd control problem. Clear it up. Heavy frame on the field. Heavy frames got your back.
Okay, so before I do this, I'm gonna give a heads up to the newer players of the game and tell them what weapons they should probably get first and what other weapons they shouldn't get yet. Sweet Business, Vigilant Wings, Sweet Business, Vigilant Wing, Fighting Lion, Stun Shot, and Prophet, Darcy, Warcliffe, and Tractor Cannon, all weapons that you can get by random drop. If you get it, you'd probably want to equip it. The Sturm. A quest line that is about as shitty as its actual weapon's name. And just to let you know, this thing's actually just a bottle opener. Beep! That's a big fat no. This thing just sucks. The Rat King. I haven't tried it, so I can't say yet.
Jesus,
But the
this
quest
is so
line
bad,
seems
Dad.
pretty easy, and I think you'll be able to do it.
Let's
As-
look at what the problem is.
One second.
Default.
Okay, so the first weapon that I recommend you get that is a quest line is the Mida Multi-Tool. Now, I'm gonna have a lot of controversy in the comments because of people saying that the Mida is not good. I'm just gonna let you know the Mida is actually good for the very beginning of the game. Because of its one intrinsic perk of absolutely nothing but having good handling. That's it. Yep. If people get pissed off, that's literally the only reason good handling, which is... I'm sorry, but the Mida Multi-Tool is the easiest weapon to get in the game. Excuse me. The weapon you should go after next is definitely not Sturm. I mean, you could use Sturm, I guess. It'd also be another option. I guess you could test out 110 hand cannons for the first time. But you have to have Drang. Don't ask why. The third weapon would be Rat King, which is a little harder because of the heroic public events I had to do for that part of the quest. I haven't gotten it yet because there's a certain quest step that I haven't figured out yet. But I recommend you do this with 6 people, or 6 people that don't have the Rat King. And if you do get the Rat King with those same 6 people, you guys will be able to use the Rat King and have maximum damage come out of it. And Vermin's a really good perk. And PvP and PvE. And the weapons that I'd go after last. And the expansion in regular game is absolutely nothing. Okay, next ones. You get every DLC but Forsaken. So everything up to Forsaken doesn't count. So that means there's only a couple exotics left I have to explain. The Crimson regime. Crimson's very good in PvP. As Sarah's regime is okay. Not just okay, it's just decent. If you get it, never complain about it. Onto energy. This, if you got this as a promotional, you got this as a promotion for pre-ordering the game. The Fighting Lion used to be good, but it really isn't anymore. Well, it ain't as good. The Sunshot used to be unholy and godlike, but it was nerfed to the ground, like everything. This was also nerfed, but that was by this thing I'm gonna show you after I get done with this point. The Skyper's Oath is okay. The Risk Runner is actually pretty good. Because in PvP, you want to have arc resistance. Because some people use the hard light, and whenever they switch to arc, you don't taking arc damage increases his weapon's power and arc resistance. Again, going against this in PvP is torture. On the other side of it, if you don't know what to do with it, that's sad, because it's actually a very good way of going. Next one, Hard Light. Oh, before I go into Hard Light, which is a weapon that's from Curse of Osiris, let me go into the the Hard Light. Let me go into the Borealis first, because the intrinsic perk of Fundamentals and the trait of Ionic Return is not very good. But its counterpart of the Hard Light, or the Assault Rifle version of it, is 10 times better in PvP. In PvP, it was nerfed to the ground, and in PvE, it's just good. Volatile Light is a very effective PvE and PvP setup, because I've gotten actual kills with the reflections. Although I don't recommend the catalyst on this thing. It's kind of cringy because it doesn't really need a catalyst when you think about it. It's a trait of Fundamentals is also very good. And that's literally it. And the Merciless. Let me tell you. This thing was unholy. Absolutely unholy. It did minuscule damage to most fusion rifles, but because of its intrinsic perk, the Merciless intrinsic perk literally makes up for the impact on this thing. So the charge time is actually pretty decent, but if you don't get actually get hits that are lethal, Non-lethal hits will literally make this go from 900 to like 800, which is a very big jump. Prometheus lens. Or the most annoying thing you've ever had in this game. I'm sorry, when I use the word annoying, you know I mean annoying. This thing in the Cold Heart is annoying as fuck to go against in PvP.
Show 'em the ornament.
And there's a couple more ornaments, but I'm not gonna show the ornaments because why would I do that? The Tesla. This thing I actually have 2 ornaments for as well. The Reef and Ruins and Dread from Below. My favorite one is the Dread from Below. But this.
Remember, barrel length counts.
What?
Barrel length counts.
Oh yeah. Oh, this thing actually has longer range. I mean, it already has actually pretty good range. It's a good mid-range weapon, but when it has longer barrels, you know it's good. So the Tesla is the complete opposite of the merciless fusion rifle, and does bonus damage. Not only you might be able to strip the shield off, you can use this thing explode on people. It has a delayed void blast. So this thing is like a sticky bomb launcher. And it's very annoying to get killed by. Not get, because you could get it by whatever drops. The Polaris Lance. You know, this thing was okay. I mean, if you know how to do precision hits, it's actually pretty good, but that being said, the perfect fifth trait is not that good. If it was like every 2 precision shots, that thing would be more effective. And on to power weapon before going the armor. The first weapon is the Prosper. A weapon that is actually pretty good. Was pretty good. The fucking blast radius on this thing is something to be sad about. Because most other grenade launchers have higher blast radius. Tractor cannon is a shotgun that doesn't seem good on paper, but in practice might be the second most overpowered thing for popping Titan bubbles. Now, if you don't know what a Titan bubble is, I feel sorry for you again, because you get killed by those every single game, and I fucking despise them. So, this thing, I have one thing for, which is just this part. Who really cares? And the reason why is the scientific method is very good, and repulsive force is very good as well. Legend Valkyrie shotgun. If new players get this shotgun, they should be happy. But if you don't have the shotgun, stay away from me. Unless you know how to raid. Now you're asking, if I get the quest and it says do Leviathan raid, should I do Leviathan? No. I'm sorry, you should never do Leviathan. Not unless you have the right stuff. And not unless you have a fucking Whisper the Worm. But that thing says fuck you to me. Darcy. Very good sniper. Actually, buffed, sort of, because Whisper the Worm is kind of decreased down. That thing's not ready yet. Warcliffe Coil. This thing's just good if you know what to do.
Less rockets.
It's just when you shoot one rocket, it summons or shoots out a lot of more little rockets. The Colony. A very good and very useful alternative to most others weapons in the game. Now I'm saying more useful alternative. I'm not saying that lightly. It is a more useful alternative to the Prosper. And the last two weapons, the Worldline Zero. Do not get this. Well, not unless you want to get every single exotic in the game, which I'm hoping no one decides that's a good idea. Because it is not a good idea. In the Sleeper Stimulant, I actually recommend that you get the Sleeper Stimulant first for your heavy weapons. If you get the Tractor Cannon, or any of these four right here. No, actually any of these 5 right here. Great! But for the people that have Forsaken and are newer players, here's the weapons that you should go after. Oh yeah, before I do that, the Huckleberry is a very good choice, and the Jade Rabbit is a terrible choice. Terrible choice. Anyways, onto Forsaken weapons, and the Lumina not unlocked for me, so I don't know what that is. Anyways, the first thing, Cerberus +1. This thing is like a a shotgun auto rifle. Get close to someone, you tear them to shreds. If you get the catalyst on it, you hold square for a tighter spread, which I actually might do. Because it's actually not a bad weapon. Now, I can actually show you this real quickly, because it's actually, again, not a bad weapon. Nothing in this game is usually that bad, unless it's, the fucking Illumina buff. I mean, who really cares? Illumina just sucks. So, this is the Cerberus +1. The thing I have in my hand right now is just the Cerberus. So, I'm going to show you this weapon real quickly. Firstly, it's actually a very good weapon. Shred in close to mid-range combat. Doesn't actually have a fast fire rate, which is actually a okay thing for this weapon because it's a shotgun assault rifle sort. Now, in Lost Sectors or PvP, it's quite the opposite. No, in Crucible and Gambit, it's quite the opposite. PvE-wise, this thing is good, but cooperative PvP Andy, which is Gambit, this thing is not as effective, because you have to get close to the opponent, and if they get within point-blank range and they have a shotgun, good luck. You might survive, but you might not either. So I'm going to show you this in a Lost Sector real quickly. This is a very retarded Lost Sector. And this thing actually does have a very good spread in the reason why I say this is a shotgun assault rifle is because of its barrel setup, a full choke, which is a perk that you get on shotguns only, usually. Not unless you have Forsaken, because then that would just be on this weapon. which is actually not that bad. Don't get me wrong, this is not the world's greatest weapon. You get the tiny spread version of this, you might as well be shredding things in little pieces. Because it really only takes 3-4 shots to kill an enemy. And with the 450 fire rate with it, it's actually not that bad. Anyway, snipers are, again, not effective. I missed terribly. If you miss, you get punished so severely, it's not even worth using snipers. Not unless you're in, like, close range combat. Oh no, not unless you're in long range combat and you know how to aim. Which I don't know how to aim. Because I used to use a weapon called the Beloved. Which, again, you have to have Forsaken or Shadowlands. Forsaken and Shadowlands. Your Shadowlands, you just want Shadowlands. No, I mean Shadowkeep. Shadowlands is a different expansion. Completely different game. So this thing, again, not a great source of PvP kills and stuff, but it's definitely not a bad choice for shredding things in PvE. Gambit, you have better choices. I mean, in PvP itself, PvE itself, you have way better choices. But if this is like one of the only exotics that you have in the game, please don't get upset. It's just a good exotic. On the other hand, if you get this shit, something called the Jade Rabbit, which should be called the garbage weapon in the game, unless you have fucking aim about as good as the fucking turtles, then this weapon is not very bad. Now, I know, it's saying a lot. But when you think about it, most weapons aren't that bad unless you don't know how to use it. This is the exception. Everybody knows it's bad. And everybody should know it's bad. Next weapon. Wish Ender. Do not get this because this thing was a pain in the ass to get. Well, don't get this if you're a new player and you have Forsaken. Do not touch it until you've got some experience, at least done one raid. Last Wish is absolutely fine. Leviathan's fine with it. And if you have at least over 24 hours on this game. Now you're thinking, Jesus, that's a lot of restrictions. Why? There's no restrictions to the dungeon itself. It's because this actually is the worst exotic quest in the game, in my opinion. I haven't done Xenophage yet, so I can't say it's the worst, but I could say it's definitely one of the worst I've done. On to the next weapon. The Ace of Spades, or the most annoying actual weapon in the game, if you know what to do. This thing tortures me. And this thing has a fucking catalyst. I don't remember this thing ever having a catalyst. Oh my god, I don't remember that thing ever having a catalyst.
The astral file server. Like stars, right?
You're gonna get it this week?
Then how do you do it?
Anyways, the Ace of Spades, again, is a weapon that you shouldn't touch unless you have at least more than 12 hours in the game. And you've done the, expansion, the full story expansion.
There's gonna be a new FNAF again. Jesus God. Like, what the fuck do you do for a living?
Again, Ace of Spades, you have to do a lot of PvE and PvP. Again, not a very effective weapon if you don't know what to do. Chaperone. I'm just gonna let you know this actually is a very easy weapon to get. And if you don't think it's easy, just grab the Ikilo shotgun or grab like the Dust Rock Blues or Mindbender's Ambition, which, let me tell you, the Mindbender's Ambition sucks to go against. Okay, now before I do Wish Ender, Ace of Spades, and before I do this whole row, let me get into the honorable mentions of actual weapons I don't have and never tested, but heard that are good. The Malfeasance. I haven't heard this was a good weapon, I just heard it's somewhat decent. Does have a really cool look, but is a very hard weapon to get. The next weapon is Nagi's Burton. I'm just gonna let you know, very good sniper, actually better than Whisper in some cases. But good luck. That's all I need to say, just good luck. Not only is this quest very hard to do, you have to do some sort of fucking weird question, and I just don't understand it. Anyways, on the weapons I have that I've actually used, the last word. Again, like the Ace of Spades, if you don't know what to do, this weapon's not recommended. But since I kind of know what to do with this, it's okay. Again, most weapons I'm going to be talking about aren't bad. They're just not good for people that don't know how to use handguns and stuff. Hey, have you ever heard of the Arbalist? With the charge time of 533 seconds? Or 533 milliseconds? Well, if you haven't, I feel very, very sorry. Because this thing is way too overpowered and breaks the fucking game. Anyways, onto the Thorn, which is a weapon that tortured me for over 2 weeks. You've heard me, 2 weeks. Don't wonder why, because it wasn't actually the going through the, there's one step where you have to do, like, the, there's like a strike that you have to do, and it was not that hard. The hardest part was trying to get hand cannon kills, or void ability kills. Void hand cannon kills grant the most effective progress. And here onto one of the weapons that I actually have that is actually good for dealing damage if you know what to do. Again, I told you about the catalyst. This thing sucks to get. I actually had to get carried because I don't know how to do a lot of it. So that is a good weapon. If you don't have the catalyst, that's fine. But if you have the catalyst, that's great. Bad Juju. This weapon is an easy weapon to get. And as cool as it looks, it's not actually that easy to get. It's easy at first, but then you're going to realize I'm going to have to be spending much of my time into grabbing destination materials, glimmer, and legendary shards. Now, legendary shards, yeah, you don't need all of them. But you still want to get legendary shards because I believe they cost like 5 legendary shards or something like that. Monte Carlo, that's an honorable mention weapon. Don't have it, don't know what it does. And Lumina. Don't know. I'm sorry to say, but I've seen people use Lumina and say that sucks. So I'm gonna go with my gut and say that it sucks. Onto energy weapons. The Trinity Ghoul. A weapon that is actually just bad. I mean, that's a weapon that I can straight up just say it's bad. And if you thought that some things are bad, this is the worst weapon in the game. This is better than that. Now, you'll be wondering why. Impact doesn't matter in this state of time because of how many rounds a minute it does. The Trinity Duel has a draw time of 756, has splitting arrows. If you aim down sights, it decreases the spread, and the impact is actually very good on it. But the sad thing about it is that lightning rod is not very effective. So that's why it sucks. Next weapon. Put on some, cue some really edgy, really stupid music that is ridiculously epic. Thank you. So, this weapon used to be the big fucking cheese of the game. If you didn't have this, you were depressing. Oh, that's not me talking. That's literally what people would say. And Lord of the Wolves is a drop from bounties that you do from the spider. Jahoon is what I like to call it, but some people call it Jotun or Jolton. Or some people call it the weaponized toaster. Or the WT. The WT, or the weaponized toaster, is a literal toaster that is weaponized to have homing shots. I'm sorry, but this thing had to be nerfed to the ground. The Lay Monarch. And just before you guys get pissed off at me, I did not do the quest. I got it when it first came out. Lay Monarch. Actually a very good bow if you know what to do. Quickly full drawing a bow, because of the time that it takes, 6.84 seconds. Or 684 milliseconds. This weapon was ridiculously good. There's no really traits on it that make it good or great. It's just good. There's no traits on it to make it better. That's what I would say. A Tarback. Don't have it. Heard that it was a hard drop, and if you get a drop, you'd be more disappointed than a kid in Christmas that got a Nintendo Wii, not a Nintendo DS. The Orion's Vow. I mean, who the okay, sorry about that. I'm sorry about this thing because no one deserves to get hit by it, and it does 90 rounds a minute. In fact, I despise touching it. At Divinity, never touched it. Don't actually have it at all, but it's actually really good. I've heard and seen people use it. Symmetry. Very annoying weapon, and just to let you know, very ugly as well. And onto the last two that I have, onto the honorable mention first. Devil's Rune, or Devil's Rune. Weapon I don't have, but heard that it's okay. Has 300 rounds a minute. Has a max size of 15, but has a charge time of 1,000. And to the weapons that I have now. Tommy's Matchbook. I'm just gonna let you know, if you see this thing, should talk the person into not using it and teabag them and email them. Please do, because this weapon actually does suck. What? It's not supposed to be on heroic. Normal. I mean, mythic. Mythic's the highest that you can go. No heroic. The Fourth Horseman is a weapon I have. And I don't have its catalyst yet, but if you get its catalyst, it's very good. And onto the para weapons. First weapon, 1K voices. 1K voices. Just cry on the inside when you get killed in this thing. You know the person that kills you has done a lot of rating. Two-tailed fox. If it wasn't as if it wasn't as annoying and as bad as it is, I'd say it's a viable option, but it really isn't, so. No. I forgot to give him stuff. Dad, there's 12-ounce Red Bull. There's 12-ounce Red Bull that you have. The Black Talon weapon that I don't like, actually. One second. Oh, Jesus. I already have a Red Bull. Can you save them to, can you save them? I didn't want them, though. Kenny, can you give us the, Dad?
Dad?
So the Black Talon is a weapon that I think is absolute garbage.
Yeah, whatever.
I think that punching guy in Martin. Anyway, that is my review on weapons.